What's up, guys? This is Smogon back with another SPL highlight. Today we're going to be watching a Week 4 game between Conflict and BlazingDark and GSC. I'm Drifting. I'm joined here today by our expert, Choolio. Choolio, you want to introduce yourself and maybe these players?
Yeah, usually my name is pronounced Julio.
Oh, my bad.
No worries, everyone gets it wrong. I've been playing GC for over a decade now, and we have here two players. One of them is been playing for over a decade, maybe almost 2 decades. I'm not sure about Conflict, how long he's actually been playing, but he's been around for a long time. And then we have BlazingDark, who I'm not entirely sure how long he has been around, but he's been getting good results in GSC, especially in SPL, I believe. I'm not entirely sure since I haven't kept up with the tournament scene that well. And we're going to do a highlight of this game and just go slow and see what happens and commentate on it.
Alright, let's get started then. So we see the double cloister lead right here coming out, yep. So
Yeah,
tell me a little about cloister in this tier. What makes
yeah, it's the best spiker, and what's interesting to see here is Conflict went for Toxic, which probably indicates that he has something in the bag that wants Cloister to be crippled for later in the game.
mm,
And BlazingDark just went for Spikes instead, meaning that it's not as crucial for him to remove the Cloister early on.
Yep.
And here we see both going to the Electrics. Conflict revealing to have a Raikou, which is a good matchup here to face a Zapdos. And let's see what he's doing. There's a Snorlax, makes sense. And he misses the Thundro, which sucks a lot, since that means this Snorlax has a free curse potentially.
Free curse.
And he misses another one.
So I think one
Yeah,
of the main things every new GSC player learns is that Snorlax is the number one, right? So
yeah,
you
it's the
know
best.
it's on every team. So tell me
Yeah.
a little about what Snorlax might be doing. We see a curse come out, but
Yeah, it depends on the type of team. On offense, it's these days either a curse variant or it is a sleep talk variant with two attacks. One of them being a normal stab move of their choice, the other one being whatever coverage move they need.
sure.
Or it could be even sleep talk with curse paired. And what we see here before was he threatened the Snorlax out with an Exeggutor, pretending to have Sleep Powder because he probably doesn't have that much of an answer to Curse Earthquake Legs. And it worked out, and he gets faced with an Umbreon, which kind of traps an Exeggutor, unless the Exeggutor decides to boom trade with the Umbreon. We will see if he does that. Nope, he's getting Percy trapped.
Yeah. But Leech Seed activates after pursuit in this gen.
This is one of the interesting mechanics. It's Leech Seed as well as burn and toxic damage and poison damage.
Yeah, we see a Golem come out. That's the
Yes.
rapid spins in this tier, right? And only this tier because of
Yes.
it's
Exactly.
an event from like New York Tower or something, right?
Yes, exactly. There was like it's called like NYPC, and it was in the 2000s, early 2000s or whatever, and they released these event Pokemons, and we see that the Golem is down to less than 50% because this is a curse QLEX, which sucks probably for BlazingDark, especially after his Umbreon is paralyzed. And Conflict makes a good play, gets his Snorlax in again, probably going for curse here. Yes, he does, and the answer from BlazingDark is his own Snorlax. So we're probably going to see a curse war here. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Let's see who crits first. Oh, this is Body Slam. This changes a little bit the dynamic here.
Is it really just based on who crits first, or is there a little bit more to it than that?
So it depends on the sets. Since we don't know BlazingDark's entire select set yet, there's a chance that it's probably Sleep Talk, since he has an Umbreon to trap ghosts. There we see the rest. And if it's Sleep Talk, then it probably beats Conflict's Snorlax, since it has Body Slam as normal stab. And yeah, there's the Sleep Talk. And Tyranitar potentially can beat this if it has the right move. There's the Screech. Yes, it has the right move. And let's see what happens next. There's another curse. So if I think he wakes up this turn and he can go for a double edge.
Oh, a
And he
crit.
does, and he gets a crit,
Wow.
which is huge.
That's is that a
This-
game changer in this sort of match?
Yeah, kind of. Let's see, there is a rock slide. Ah, he got a flinch, so let's say the crit mattered, but he got saved by the rock slide flinch,
Hmm.
and it isn't that bothered much by it anymore. And there we see the Cloyster coming in, taking the rock slide. He's threatening the Tyranitar out with his surf. If BlazingDark wants to, he could go for explosion here. And there's a protect that is usually not seen often on Tyranitar.
Mm.
It's a rare move.
What would you normally see as
Oh.
the 4 moves on T-Tar, and what does it drop for that?
It probably dropped Pursuit
Mm.
here. Usually it's Screech, Rock Slide, Earthquake, and then the fourth move can be a lot. Some people like to run Pursuit just to have the ability to get Gengar on switch outs, or
Makes
Mr.
sense.
Revis, for example. Probably drop that since there's nothing really on his team, unless the hidden last, that really wants anything trapped. And we see a Toxic Boundary, he's just gonna go for, a Rock Slide. Does he get the flinch? Nope, he does not. There's a chance that the Toxic doesn't bother him, otherwise he wouldn't have stayed in here. And he switches, goes to the Raikou. It's going to be probably... Oh, it's Moon. This changes also a lot of things. This is Moonlight Umbreon. I should have known before, because he revealed Pursuit Toxic, and I think, did he reveal Charm? I don't remember.
I don't think so. But on a related note, what's happening right now? I think, other than Snorlax, the other big thing people know about GSC is that they click Thunder a lot, right? And it's usually either Raikou or Zapdos, like we can see on either side of the field. Can you give any insight into what sort of the difference between the two legendary electric types is? Why you might choose to use one over the other, and what separates them? Because they're both pretty good, right? Like top of the viability.
They're respectively, well, Raikou, people argue if it's the third or fourth or fifth best, but the Zapdos is pretty much the second best Pokemon in the entire tier, because it has a ground immunity, means it's not bothered by Earthquake or any other ground moves. It has a decent speed tier, it has good bulk, it has a resistance to fighting, which is only relevant from a champ, but it is relevant because champ can be an annoying Pokemon. And the reason why they use Thunder is simply because of damage output and the chance to paralyze something. Some teams can't afford probably to run Thunder because
there's a boom on Umbreon.
Having...
Sorry to interrupt. But...
No worries, and I'm not sure if that boom is going to be relevant because I don't think the Umbreon did much. And Conflict makes a good play to go Tyranitar here because that potentially forces the Snorlax out after he screeches.
Right.
And there is a screech. So it comes down to what both of their last is. I would give the edge right now on this in this scenario to BlazingDark because the lag set he has maybe got into whatever last Conflict has. But there's also a chance that Conflict's last is surprisingly good into whatever he has, and there's a Rock Slide flinch, crit, not flinch.
That's
which changes everything again.
Seems like this T-Tar and Snorlax trading has sort of defined the match so far. The Sleep Talk comes out and we see Double Edge. I assume BlazingDark wanted to pull a rest there.
Yes.
So
he really wanted the rest.
Vaporeon.
Oh, there's Vaporeon. And I'm pretty sure Surf KOs from this range. Yes, it's at 90%.
Oh, but a double switch comes out.
Yeah, this is good play by Conflict. Predicting the Zapdos to come in, he could potentially either just attack into it to get the para on it with Body Slam.
Alright.
which would be very beneficial for it. And there's an interesting thing I just noticed. The Zapdos has Thunderbolt. So this could be an indication that it doesn't have Rest or Sleep Talk.
Sure. So it's a more... Because it looks like BlazingDark's using a lot of explosion Pokemon, right? So it could be a bit more of an offensive team, maybe? But...
Well, he has 2 explosion uses so far, Cloyster and Golem.
the
And
Snorlax
the
not
last...
self-destruct.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This Snorlax is a Rest Talk set, and Conflict Curse is up here, which is very good for him. Let's see what happens. He's gonna probably Body Slam here. If he gets a Para, that's very big for him. Yeah, there's the Para. Because I don't think this Zapdos has Rest. I may be wrong. And he's just sacking the Golem. Yep, there it is. And we're probably going to see this Snorlax enter the... Never mind, there's the Zapdos coming back in.
What do you think
Let's
that
see
last...
what the Zapdos...
What do you think the last might be for BlazingDark on a team like this?
Umbreon, which Pursuit traps. There's a chance that there's a second poke in the back that wants Ghost's Gun.
Sure.
For example...
Moltres.
Oh, there's a Moltres. I did not expect that.
Sunny Day.
And...
Wow.
Yeah, this is pretty much the only set it runs. It's Sunny Day, Fire Stab of your choice. It's either Flamethrower or Fire Blast, and then Rest and Sleep Talk is last moves. And he has Flamethrower. It's a burn.
Insane burn.
But I don't think it matters, since the Vaporeon just wins from here.
It's funny
Since
in this...
he doesn't have...
A lot of new gen players might think like Vaporeon's the defensive water type and Cloyster's the offensive one because of Shell Smash and Wish Passing and all that stuff. But it's honestly more flipped in GSC, isn't it? With the sort of growth setup being the Vaporeon and Cloyster being the utility guy.
Yes, it is, although Cloyster's still considered offensive in this tier, just in a different kind of sense.
Sure.
Since Explosion does like way more damage than in newer gens. Right. But Vaporeon having access to growth and technically makes it like the Calm Mind Suicune of this tier. Because Suicune doesn't get growth or any boosting moves in this tier, so it's kind of like a sitting duck. It's the one passive water you would imagine. And here we see the Vaporeon is just gonna clean up.
Looks like the game might be over. Yep.
It is. Yeah, it was over the moment he couldn't recover his Snorlax.
And we see the forfeit coming. And Conflict wins. Yeah. You know, sort of considered the best Gen 2 player ever, right? So it's nice.
I will not comment on if he's the best Gen 2 player ever, because there's probably a lot of people arguing for other people to be the best one ever. And I don't want to open this can of worms.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. But alright, let's close it off. You, Choolio, why should our viewers try GSC OU? What do you like about it? What's the appeal?
I think the appeal is it's probably of the old gens that exist. Next to RBY, one of the easier old gens to pick up, because you don't need to think of any EV spreads, you don't need to think of nature's abilities. It has interesting mechanics. It can be a fast-paced game, because usually people associate GSC with, oh, it is just stall 24/7, which it isn't actually. Not as much as it used to be like 10 years ago. And in these past 10 years, it has developed so much, and especially because newer players came and discovered this tier and had a take on it that some older guys, like including myself, didn't have, due to having such a narrow-minded view. And that would help the tier grow if more people would try it out. And there's still, to this day, people innovating new things. And main reason is easy to learn, not much needed. It's kind of unique in itself, and it's fun.
You know, and that's what matters at the end of the day, isn't it? So
yeah,
this has been Conflict vs BlazingDark. I've been Drifting. This has been Choolio. and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.